everybody. I hope that you are having a lovely day. I am doing the Take 5 Art Challenge. For December, our prompts are watercolor, ballpoint pen, text, green, and botanical. I also wanted to finish up some of these portraits that are at my Patreon site. I do a free weekly printable. So these are for my Patreons, and if you're interested in my Patreon, I am posting some free content over there, so you can go by and check out the free content that I have at my Patreon site. I drew this girl. I drew this one a couple days ago, and I drew her. I thought that I was recording, but I wasn't. So I'll just show you how I draw a girl really quick, and we'll take her off of this paper that I'm working on. The first thing that I do is just trace out like an oval. I use a plain old pencil. I could not find a plain old pencil, so I'm using a mechanical pencil, which is really not my favorite thing to draw with. And then I just go ahead and, you can watch tutorials online, and that's basically how I learned to draw a face. I also learned to draw a face from my uncle, who was an amazing artist. And I remember being 5 and 6 years old and watching him draw. I would sit beside him and just watch him draw. It was fascinating. This video is a teeny bit dark, just so you can kind of see what's going on. I will try and lighten it a little bit in editing, but when you try and lighten something that you're drawing with a pencil, sometimes it doesn't quite work out. So I don't know what it is with me and noses today. They aren't my friend today, and usually they're my good friends. So there we go. There's the nose, and we'll just go ahead and kind of give that a little definition. The next thing that I do is I make a V, and then I make a V right under that. I pull these lines this way. I'm going to pull that line that way. And we're going to make some lips. And I like my lips to have just a little bit of bulk right here. So she's got a significant lower lip. Next thing that I do is flatten my eyes on the bottom and give them more of a half circle-ish kind of look. And then I erase my middle circle, the one that I did for spacing. I go ahead and do a U shape right here. And then I'll do a smaller U right here for the pupil of the eye. I go ahead and put in some eyebrows because I just think they look weird. If they're staring at you and they don't have eyebrows, they look kind of odd. So just go ahead and stick in some eyebrows here. Disclaimer, not a drawer, not a painter, but we just do the best we can. Okay, now I'm going to take those lines out, and I'll show you how I finish up the pupil. To finish the pupil, I make a triangle, and then I darken this in. I don't paint it black. So triangle, and that's all the reflection that I need. And then just kind of darken it in. All right, now I want to get her eyelid going, so I just bring a line from here and bring it close to the end of her eye over here, like that. Sometimes I finish the nose, and sometimes I don't put these lines in, but we'll just go ahead and put some lines in here. And then for the hair, I start at the top and just kind of bring this down. We'll sketch in a little neck for her. Give her some hair, and then pull this down here. Make her face a little less wonky. And then I can go back and ditch my lines. And then do whatever I want to with her. So just basically that's how I draw a girl. Everybody draws them differently. What I want to do next is the watercolor portion of this challenge. And to do that, I've got some water brushes that my friend Joy sent me, I think. Oh my gosh, I love these things. I have a piece, oh, where is that piece? Oh, I was looking for this piece of paper. I'm using a Julie Nutting watercolor pencil set. It's hair and skin tones. So what I want to do is I want to put her a bit of a skin tone in. So I'm using, I don't know, this is a number 5. And I think I'm only going to do one of these, and then I'll do that one later. But let's just go ahead and do this one. And I know this isn't quite watercolor because I'm using a watercolor pencil, but did I tell you I'm not a painter, not a drawer? I'm sorry about the shaking as well. Maybe one day my tech issues will be solved. Maybe that's what Santa's going to get me for Christmas. No tech issues. All right, I'm going to jump up and make sure that I'm still, that you guys can still see. Okay, still in frame. All right, so I'm taking, I just did a really light, very light brush there. That's too skinny. Gotta make sure this is clean, or fairly clean. Okay, and then what I do is just kind of squeeze the brush and bring the color over. Like I said, this is going to be a printable for my patrons over at Patreon. And then they can cut it out and, you know, do whatever they want to with it. All right, now I'm going to let that dry for a minute. And then while that's drying, I will go back in and let's do a little bit of, I don't know if I want to do brown or yellow for her hair. I think we'll do some yellow. So I'm just going to go back in. This challenge was really challenging for me because of the green, and I started on this challenge several times and then I couldn't do it. So I had to put it to the side and kind of just not do it. But then when I was making my video list today, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I could do my girls, my girl portraits, but do green eyes, right? So that means I met that challenge, right? So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to pick up that nice fat brush again and kind of, now you can see I'm really not doing a lot. I'm just giving like little hints of color. Painting terrifies me, as does canvas. I'm just terrified of both those things. All right, okay, so there we go. I hope this turns out okay. I have these green neon color metal pens, and they are from my friend Trills and the New of Zealand. So I'm hoping, I do think those are quite intense. Let's see, there are two colors of green here. They're both pretty intense. All right, I'm not quite sure. I might not be able to make the I may not be able to make the green part of this challenge with the eyes. I'm going to take a darker color of brown and do her irises just like that. Okay, and then take my skinny Derwent brush. Make sure that we don't have too much water going on in here. We're going to make a mess. Okay, I thought I was going to do green eyes, but I'm not. But the other part of the challenge is botanical. So that's going to be green. All right, now she looks really weird. So what I want to do, and this is another part of the challenge, is to go in, and we're supposed to use ballpoint pen, which is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. I love ballpoint pen. But I should have waited just a tiny bit longer to let that dry. But it looks weird when she's staring at me like that. Okay, that's not so bad. I am going to have to wait for just a minute. Okay, let's move on to the botanical. Okay, watercolor ballpoint text. Okay, green and botanical. I think to fulfill this challenge, I'm going to not do anything botanical on my girls, but rather turn my page like this and just do some flowers using my ballpoint pen. And the way that I like to do that is I like to start with a spiral, and then I draw a circle around the spiral, and then I will add circles around that spiral. I give my flowers a little stem down here and a leaf like that. Now, yay, I get to use green. So this is like my my part of the challenge. Now, you're saying, now, why you got some flowers right there? Well, I figure, you know, if you're going to use these girls in some sort of collage element, that the flowers would look nice. And so I think that you could use the flowers with the stem, or you could just use the flower as it is, you know, and put it in her hair. That might look cool. I love using ballpoint pen and these neon markers. Okay, now let's get the middle of that done. I think we'll do that in some gold, which kind of is sort of ish brown. Okay. All right, let's do one more of those while we're waiting. And this one, I'm just going to make a little bit smaller. So in case my patrons want to just cut this out and put it in her hair. Let's do this one in purple. There we go. I think we'll do yellow in the middle. So it's kind of turning into more of a collage sheet at this point. Also like to do flowers with a little bit of the more of a flowery look. not circles, but more of a petal shape. There we go. I'll go back with some green. All right, so you get the idea. All right, let's go down and let's finish her up. As far as the text goes, I think I'm just going to do, let's do bubble letters, because they're just fun. And I realize I'm not doing everything on the same piece, y'all, but like I said, this was a hard challenge for me because of the green. But I did want to try. There we go. Love, flowers. Hey guys, okay, we are finishing up our portraits. I just wanted to let you know how these turned out. You saw me paint this one. I finished painting this one as well, and finished doing just a few little flowers up here. I will add some flowers to this sheet, and like I said, it is my weekly free printable over at Patreon. So I did watercolor, ballpoint pen, text, which was the love in the bubble letters. Green, I did get really brave and I gave this girl green eyes, and that did work with my neon colors. It really worked great, as a matter of fact. And then for the botanical element, I just started drawing some flowers, and I'll finish drawing these flowers a little later on today. But I did want to do the Take 5 Art Challenge because I enjoy it so much. There is something very challenging about just using 5 things, but you know, as a little bit of a minimalist, I love the idea of a 5-thing challenge. So thank you, ladies, at the Take 5 Art Challenge, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you soon. Y'all take care.